The text comes through at 11:47 p.m., 14 seconds after I've sent a photo of my scar to the wrong number. Unknown, tomorrow. 9 p.m., Vale Hotel, rooftop terrace. Come alone. I stare at my phone like it's grown teeth. This isn't wrong number, sorry. This isn't confusion or apology. This is a command. This is someone who looked at the raised white tissue on my hip, 3 inches of keloid memory from the night I bled in an alley, and knew exactly what they were seeing. My hands start shaking. I'd meant to text Maya, my sister. She'd been asking for weeks if I'd finally scheduled the dermatologist appointment, if I was taking care of myself, if I was letting the past stay past. I took the photo in my bathroom under fluorescent honesty. Phone angled, cotton underwear pulled low, the scar catching shadow like a map of everything I survived 3 years ago. Progress shot, medical necessity, nothing more. I'd typed Maya's number from memory. I'd gotten 1 digit wrong. Now a stranger, someone with access to the Vale Hotel's private rooftop, was telling me to come alone. The way the message read, clipped and absolute, made my stomach drop through the floor. This person wasn't asking. They were summoning. I should block the number, delete everything, throw my phone in the East River, and disappear. Instead, I screenshot the message with trembling fingers, text Maya the actual photo this time, and spend the next 26 hours trying not to think about that single word. Come. The way it landed in my body, the way it felt like a fist closing around my throat. I live by rules. No bright shoes after dark. No favors owed to anyone whose last name I can't verify. No photos of my body sent to numbers I haven't triple-checked. That one's new, added at 11:48 p.m. last night in a cold sweat. The scar on my left hip exists in a category of things I document but don't discuss. It's been 3 years since a masked man cornered me in a velvet quiet back alley, since the blade went in and the world went red, since I woke up in an ER with 7 stitches and a detective telling me the case had gone cold before it even got warm. No arrests, no follow-up, no justice. Just this, raised white tissue that catches on waistbands and a rule that says, trust no one, depend on no one, survive alone. So why am I standing outside the Vale Hotel at 8:53 p.m., wearing black like armor with a folding knife pressed against my thigh in my pocket? Curiosity. That's what I tell myself. The lie tastes metallic. The Vale Hotel doesn't advertise. It doesn't need to. 19 stories of black glass and Italian marble in the financial district. The kind of place where the lobby smells like leather and old money, where doormen know your name before you give it. I worked a catering gig here once, 2 years ago, passing hors d'oeuvres to men in custom suits who didn't look at my face. I remembered the elevator panels required a keycard for anything above the 15th floor. I push through the revolving door like I belong here, like my heart isn't trying to crack my ribs. The concierge doesn't stop me. A man in a charcoal suit materializes at my elbow before I reach the main elevator bank. Ms. Rowan, not a question, I freeze. He knows my name. He knows my name. The rooftop is ready for you. His voice is neutral, practiced. The kind of tone that makes refusal feel like a miscalculation. He gestures toward a private elevator I hadn't noticed, its brass doors already open. Every instinct I've honed since the alley screams run. I step inside. The elevator is lined in dark wood and mirrors. My reflection stares back, pale, wide-eyed, jaw locked. I look like prey pretending to be predator. The knife in my pocket feels like a toy. The doors close with a whisper, and the floor drops away beneath me. What am I doing? The answer comes with the same certainty that brought me here. I need to know who this person is. I need to know what they saw in that photo. I need to know if the past I've been running from finally caught up. The elevator climbs. My pulse climbs with it. When the doors open, the air changes. The rooftop terrace is empty. String lights cast gold over dark wood and low-slung furniture arranged like a conversation no one's having. The city spreads below in all directions. Distant sirens, the hum of traffic, lives happening in windows I'll never see inside. October wind cuts through my jacket. The air tastes like salt and something else. Expensive cologne, control. He's standing at the edge, hands in his pockets, shoulders broad enough to blot out a section of skyline. When he turns, I forget how to regulate my breathing. Built like a promise no one dares break. That's what I think, and I hate that I think it. Tall, 6'2", maybe more, dark hair cut sharp, a jaw that could have been carved with a straight edge. Ink disappears under the cuffs of his black shirt, rolled to his forearms. His face is stone and shadows. But his eyes, dark, unreadable, too focused, land on me like I'm proof he's been checking. My body does something I don't authorize. My shoulders drop, just half an inch, just enough that I feel the knot between my shoulder blades start to unwind. No, no. Isla Rowan. His voice is low, engineered calm, the kind of sound that finds the soft part of your spine and presses. You came. You know my name. My voice comes out steadier than I expected. Good. I lock my knees, square my shoulders, rebuild the armor. Who are you? Cassian Vale? He says it like I should know, like the name itself is a signature. And you sent me something that belongs to me. My stomach turns to ice. He moves closer, slow, deliberate, nothing wasted. And I catalog every degree of distance collapsing between us. 10 feet, 8, 6. He stops just inside the radius where I have to tilt my chin to hold his gaze. I don't step back. I won't give him that. I sent you a photo by mistake, I say. I don't know you. I don't know what you think you saw. I saw a scar. His eyes drop, not to my body, but to the space where he knows it lives beneath denim and denial. 3 inches, lateral, caused by a blade with a serrated guard and a narrow tip. Custom work. There are only 4 of those knives in circulation. The air leaves my lungs. He knows. He knows. I don't. My voice cracks. I swallow it down, force steel into my throat. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. He tilts his head, and the movement is so controlled it makes my pulse spike. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The alley, 3 years ago. You were cut, and the case disappeared. No arrests, no follow-up. You survived, and someone made sure the world forgot. My hands curl into fists inside my pockets. The little folding knife bites into my palm through fabric. How does he know this? How does he know any of this? If you know all that, I manage, then you know I don't want to talk about it. I'm not asking you to talk. He reaches into his jacket. I tense, every muscle coiled, and pulls out a small black velvet box. He sets it on the table between us with the kind of care people use for loaded guns. I'm asking you to look. I don't move. Open it, Isla. Also, so we're clear, that midnight message wasn't from me, he says, gaze steady. Elena flagged it. I moved the meeting here before he could. The way he says my name, low, certain, like he's been saying it for years, makes heat flood my face. I hate it. I hate the way my body responds to a tone, a cadence, the gravitational pull of a man who shouldn't make me feel anything but afraid. But my pulse is steadying. The knot in my chest is loosening. The size of him should terrify me, this stranger who summoned me to a private rooftop, who knows things no one should know, but instead he's rearranging the air so I can breathe. What is wrong with me? I reach for the box. Inside, nestled in black silk, lies a knife, slender, matte black hilt, a serpent etched into the guard, coiled and precise. The blade is maybe 4 inches, the edge honed to a whisper. I know that knife. My body knows it before my brain catches up. The weight, the balance, the way the guard pressed into my skin when I tried to fight back, and only made it worse. My vision tunnels. The city noise fades to white static. I'm back in the alley, concrete against my spine, the smell of garbage and copper, the masked face above me, the cold slide of steel. Breathe. Cassian's voice cuts through. Low, steady. A command my lungs obey before my mind approves. I suck in air, once, twice. The rooftop comes back into focus. He's watching me with an intensity that should feel invasive. Instead, it feels like he's holding me upright through sheer force of attention. This is mine, he says quietly. One of 4 I commissioned 8 years ago. Custom steel, custom design. I gave them to men I trusted. His jaw tightens, a flicker of something raw beneath the surface. 3 years ago, one of those men used this blade to cut you, and then he disappeared. I look up at him. My vision swims. Why are you telling me this? Because you're in danger. He says it like a fact, like gravity. The man who marked you is back. He wants something you have, or something he thinks you have. And when he moves, You won't see him coming. I don't have anything, my voice shakes. I hate that. I hate all of this. I'm nobody. I work 2 jobs, I pay rent, I survive. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Cassian's gaze doesn't waver. You saw something, or you took something, or someone thought you did. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters what he believes. The wind cuts across the rooftop. I'm cold everywhere except where his attention touches. So what do you want? I force the words out. Why bring me here? Why show me this? He steps closer. I should back up. I should run. I should do anything except stand here while a man who moves like rooms recalculate around him invades the last foot of space between us. I don't move. I smell cedar and gunpowder and something darker. Something that makes my hindbrain scream predator even as my shoulders drop another fraction. Even as my breath evens out against all logic. Against every rule I've built to keep myself alive. I want to know who cut you, he says. His voice drops lower and I feel it in my spine. I want to know why my blade was in his hand. And until I do, you don't leave my sight. Excuse me. You'll have a driver, security on your building, an escort to both jobs. His tone doesn't shift, doesn't rise, absolute, final. You'll carry this, he gestures to the knife, and you'll learn how to use it. Non-negotiable. You don't own me. The words come out sharp, clean. My mantra claws up from the place I keep it buried. I will not break for you. No. Something flickers in his expression. Respect, maybe, or hunger, or both. But I own the blade that marked you, which means I own the debt. I didn't ask for your protection. You didn't ask to be cut either. The silence between us pulls taut. A wire about to snap. He reaches out, slowly, broadcast intention, and closes the velvet box. Then he presses it into my hands. His fingers brush mine, and heat spikes through me so sharp I almost gasp. My skin remembers the touch like it's been waiting for it. Like it recognizes something my mind refuses to name. I lock it down. Jaw tight, eyes forward. Go home, Isla. His voice softens just enough to feel dangerous. A car is waiting downstairs. Tomorrow we start. And if I say no, he looks at me for a long moment. His eyes trace my face, my mouth, my throat, the place where my pulse hammers visible against my skin, and I feel it everywhere, cataloged, memorized, claimed. Then you die in an alley again, he says quietly. And this time, I won't be able to find you before it's too late. I make it to the elevator before my hands start shaking. The box feels like a heartbeat in my grip. Velvet and weight and the promise of violence I didn't ask for. The doors close. My reflection stares back at me in the brass, pale, wide-eyed, alive. The knife presses against my ribs through my jacket. He knew about the alley. He knew about the blade. He knew my name before I ever walked through those doors. And worse, so much worse, when he stepped close, when his voice dropped to that lethal quiet, my body stopped screaming run and started whispering stay. I lean my forehead against the cool metal and close my eyes. I will not break for you, but my pulse steadied under his gaze. My breath slowed when he stood too close. The size of him should have terrified me. Instead, it rearranged the air so I could breathe. Why does my body behave for his voice? Why did I feel safer on a rooftop with a stranger who commands like he owns gravity than I have in 3 years of locks and rules and survival? What the hell is wrong with me? The elevator doors open. The man in the charcoal suit waits in the lobby, gesturing toward the exit. A black car idles at the curb, back door already open. I should call the cops, should disappear. Should do anything except get into a vehicle sent by a man who just told me I'm his responsibility now, whether I want to be or not. I get in. The driver doesn't speak. The partition stays up. I clutch the velvet box and watch the city slide past in streaks of light, and all I can think about is the way Cassian Vale said my name, like he'd been practicing, like he already owned it, like my body agreed. The car drops me at my building in Greenpoint, a walk-up with a broken buzzer and a landlord who doesn't ask questions. I climb 3 flights with the velvet box clutched against my ribs, unlock 2 deadbolts and a chain, and stand in my studio apartment trying to remember how to be a person who makes rational decisions. The knife sits on my kitchen counter under the overhead light. I stare at it for 20 minutes. Then I open my laptop and search Cassian Vale. The results come fast and endless. Articles, photos, business profiles that use words like logistics empire and private security consultation and unconfirmed ties. There's a Wikipedia page that's been edited 47 times. Half the citations dead links. I find a Forbes profile from 2 years ago. The man who owns the docks. In the photo, he's standing in front of shipping containers in a black suit. Hands in pockets, expression unreadable. The article talks about legitimate import channels and strategic port acquisitions, and carefully avoids saying what everyone in the comments section screams, Mafia. My stomach clenches. I keep scrolling. There's a photo from a charity gala, Cassian in a tuxedo, a champagne flute in hand, standing next to a woman in emerald silk. The caption says, philanthropist and rumored power broker. He's not smiling. He looks like a man calculating exit routes. I find an older article, 8 years back. Vale air surfaces after sister's death. The details are sparse. Cassian's younger sister, Mara, killed in a warehouse incident. Suspected gang violence. No arrests. The case went cold. Just like mine. I close the laptop and look at the knife again. Custom steel. 4 in circulation. 1 used to cut me. Why would someone use Cassian Vale's blade to attack a nobody food stylist in an alley? What was I carrying that night? I'd been leaving a late catering shift at a law firm's private event. Corporate types, expensive wine, conversations I wasn't supposed to hear. I remembered cutting through the alley because I was tired and it was faster. I remembered the masked figure stepping out of the shadows. I remembered the pain, the blood, the way my phone skidded across concrete when I dropped it. And then nothing. No one ever asked what I saw. No one cared what I heard. Except now, apparently, someone does. I pick up the knife. The weight settles in my palm like an accusation. You'll learn how to use it. Non-negotiable. I should throw it away. I should pack a bag and disappear. Instead, I test the balance, feel the grip. Wonder what it says about me that holding a weapon makes me feel less afraid than I have in years. I set it on my nightstand and don't sleep at all. The next morning, I'm walking out of my building at 6:45 a.m. for my food styling shoot when I see the car. Black sedan, tinted windows, idling at the curb like it's been there all night. The back window rolls down. A woman in her 30s, dark hair pulled into a severe bun, wearing a tailored suit that probably costs more than my monthly rent. She looks at me with the kind of neutral assessment that says, security professional. Ms. Rowan, I'm Elena. She doesn't smile. Mr. Vale asked me to escort you today. I have a name, I say, and I didn't agree to this. You got in the car last night. Her expression doesn't change. That was agreement enough. That was, I stop. Take a breath. I can get myself to work. I'm sure you can. She opens the door. But today, you won't. I think about arguing. I think about the knife in my bag and the fact that Cassian Vale knew my address without asking, knew my schedule, knew exactly how to dismantle my carefully constructed autonomy in less than 12 hours. I get in the car. Elena drives in silence. Professional, efficient. We pull up to the studio in Dumbo, where I'm shooting a cookbook spread. Rustic autumn table, heritage apples, morning light through industrial windows. She parks, scans the street with the kind of attention that makes my skin prickle, then looks at me in the rearview mirror. I'll be here when you're done, she says. 4 hours? 3. Text this number if anything changes. She hands me a card with a single phone number embossed in black. No name, no company. I take it. Get out. Feel her eyes on my back until I'm through the studio door. I can't concentrate. The photographer wants moody. I give him distracted. I'm supposed to be arranging persimmons and vintage silver, but my hands shake every time I pick up a knife to slice fruit. By the third setup, the photographer, Marcus, 50, kind, too perceptive, sets down his camera. Isla, you okay? Fine, I force a smile. Just didn't sleep well. You look like you're waiting for something to go wrong. I am. I'm fine, I repeat. Let's do the tight crop on the figs. We finish the shoot. I pack my kit, ignore 6 texts from Maya asking if I'm okay, and walk back outside where Elena is waiting exactly where she said she'd be. The routine repeats. She drives me to the hotel for my night shift, 4 to midnight, front desk concierge at a boutique place in Soho. Elena parks across the street. I watch her through the lobby windows for the first hour, then force myself to stop looking. At 8:47 p.m., Cassian walks through the door. He's not supposed to be here. This isn't his hotel. This isn't his territory. But he moves through the lobby like he owns the marble under his feet. And every head turns. The desk manager straightens. A couple by the fireplace stops talking mid-sentence. He walks straight to my desk. Isla. That voice, low and certain and finding every nerve ending I've been trying to ignore since last night. Mr. Vale, I keep my tone professional, neutral. Can I help you with something? His mouth almost curves. Almost. Dinner break. When? I don't take dinner breaks. You do tonight. He glances at the desk manager, who's watching us with barely concealed curiosity. She has 30 minutes, starting now. The manager nods like Cassian just issued a papal decree. I want to argue. I want to tell him he can't just walk into my workplace and rearrange my schedule like I'm a piece on his chessboard. But my body is doing that thing again. Shoulders dropping, breath evening. Pulse steadying under the weight of his attention like he's gravity, and I've been floating untethered for years. Stop it. There's a cafe around the corner, I say tightly. I'll meet you there in 5 minutes. I'll wait. He doesn't move. Just stands there, hands in the pockets of his black coat, watching me with that same intensity from the rooftop. Like I'm a proof he's checking. Like he's memorizing the exact way I breathe. I log out of the system with shaking hands and grab my jacket. The cafe is warm and too bright. The kind of place that serves $7 lattes and has reclaimed wood tables. Cassian sits across from me in a back corner booth, his coat draped over the seat beside him. He's ordered 2 coffees without asking what I want. You can't do this, I say, before he can speak. You can't just show up at my job. You can't assign me a driver. You can't. I can. His voice is calm, maddeningly calm. And I will, until the threat is neutralized. What threat? You haven't told me anything except that someone used your knife 3 years ago. That's not a threat. That's history. History doesn't text you at midnight and tell you to come alone to a rooftop. I freeze. What? The message you received wasn't mine. It hit one of our watch lists. Elena caught it. I took control of the meeting and the rooftop before he could. Someone's been watching you, Isla. I don't carry anything. The flash drive. He says it quietly, but the words land like a fist. The night you were attacked, you were leaving a corporate event, a law firm, Whitmore and Associates. My blood goes cold. How do you know that? Because 3 months after your attack, Whitmore's senior partner disappeared. 2 weeks later, the firm dissolved. All records sealed. He leans forward, and the space between us shrinks to nothing. You were collateral damage in a cleanup operation. Someone thought you saw something, or took something, and now they think you still have it. I don't, my voice cracks. I press my palms flat against the table, trying to anchor myself. I don't have anything. I never did. I was just serving drinks. I wasn't. You were in the room. His eyes don't leave mine. That's enough. The cafe noise fades to static. I remember that night in fragments. The law firm's glass-walled conference room, men in expensive suits having conversations in hushed tones. Someone's phone on the side table next to the champagne flutes. The way one of them looked at me when I cleared glasses. Really looked. Like he was calculating risk. I didn't take anything, I whisper. I believe you. Cassian's hand moves across the table, slow, broadcast intention, and covers mine. His palm is warm, rough. The touch sends heat straight up my arm, into my chest, lower. But belief doesn't matter. They think you have it, which means they'll come for you. I should pull my hand away. I should tell him to stop touching me, stop talking to me like I'm something fragile he needs to protect. Instead, my fingers curl, just slightly, just enough that I'm holding his hand back. What am I doing? Who's they? I manage. I don't know yet. His thumb brushes across my knuckles, and the casual intimacy of it makes my breath catch. But I will. That's why you're going to let me keep you safe while I find out. I've been keeping myself safe for 3 years. And you've been looking over your shoulder for 3 years. His voice drops lower. I can see it, Isla. The way you check exits. The way you catalog everyone in a room. The way you carry a knife that wouldn't stop anyone who really wanted to hurt you. Anger flares hot in my chest. I yank my hand back. That knife kept me alive. Luck kept you alive. He doesn't flinch. This time, I will. Why? The word comes out raw. Why do you care? You don't know me. I'm nobody. You're marked. His jaw tightens. With my blade, which makes you mine to protect. I'm not yours. No. Something flickers in his expression. Heat, hunger, restraint, all at once. But you will be? The air between us goes tight and dangerous. I should walk out. I should tell him to stay away from me, that I don't need his protection or his possessive declarations or the way his voice makes my body forget every rule I've built. But my pulse is steady. My breath is even. And for the first time in 3 years, I don't feel like I'm drowning in the middle of a crowded room. I hate him for it. I hate myself more for wanting it. I need to get back to work, I say. He nods, stands, puts on his coat with the kind of controlled grace that makes me think of predators in tall grass. Elena will take you home after your shift, he says. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'm teaching you how to use the knife properly. I didn't agree to that. You're still carrying the velvet box in your bag. His eyes meet mine, and I feel the look everywhere. That's agreement enough. He's right. I hate that he's right. He leaves 3 20s on the table for 2 coffees and walks out. I sit there for another 5 minutes, staring at my hand where his touch still burns, trying to remember how to be a person who doesn't want impossible things from dangerous men. Elena drives me home at 12:34 a.m. I climb the stairs with the velvet box in my bag, and the memory of Cassian's thumb against my knuckles, playing on repeat in my nervous system. Inside my apartment, I set the knife on the nightstand again. Then I text the number on Elena's card. 9 a.m. where? The reply comes in seconds. Unknown. Vale Industries. North Dock Warehouse. Where something you can move in. I should block the number. I should pack a bag. I should disappear. Instead, I set my alarm for 7 a.m. and lie in the dark, cataloging every place his voice touched me. Every degree of heat his proximity sparked. Every traitorous instinct that says yes when my mind screams run. I will not break for you, but the mantra is cracking. And the worst part, the part that terrifies me more than masked men in alleys or knives with serpent guards, is that I'm not sure I want it to hold. The warehouse is exactly what I expect. Industrial, isolated, the kind of place where shipping containers rest like sleeping giants, and the smell of salt and diesel hangs thick in the air. Elena drops me at the side entrance. 3rd floor, he's waiting. I climb metal stairs that echo under my boots. My heart hammers with every step. I'm wearing black leggings and a fitted tank, my hair pulled back, the knife tucked into my waistband because I'm not sure what else to do with it. The 3rd floor is open space, concrete, exposed beams. Morning light cutting through high windows. Cassian stands in the center, wearing dark pants and a fitted long-sleeve shirt that shows every line of muscle across his shoulders and arms. His ink is visible now. Geometric patterns, sharp lines, something that might be a serpent coiling up his left forearm. He turns when he hears my footsteps. You came. You gave me an address. I stopped 10 feet away. Safe distance. I'm here. Now what? Now I teach you how to survive. He crosses the space between us in 4 strides. Too close. Too fast. My breath catches, but I don't move. Show me your stance. My what? Your fighting stance. How you'd stand if someone came at you. I shift my weight. Widen my feet. Raise my hands the way I've seen in movies. In self-defense videos I watched at 3 a.m. when the nightmares were bad. He circles me. I feel his gaze like a physical touch, assessing, cataloging, noting every angle and weakness. Your weight is too far forward, he says. If I push, you go down. He demonstrates. One hand against my shoulder, barely any pressure, and I stumble. Heat floods my face. I'm not a fighter. No, but you will be. He steps behind me, and every nerve ending I own lights up in warning. Or anticipation. I can't tell the difference anymore. Again, feet here. His boot taps the inside of my foot, nudging it wider. Knees soft. Core engaged. His hand settles on my hip, just above the scar, just below my ribs, and I forget how to breathe. Feel that? His voice is low, right at my ear. That's your center. Everything moves from here. His palm is warm through the thin fabric of my tank. I can feel each finger, the breadth of his hand, the controlled strength in the touch. He's barely holding me, but I feel held, anchored. Like if I fell, he'd catch me before I hit ground. Stop it. This is a lesson. This is tactics. Now the knife. His other hand comes around, guiding my hand to my waistband where the blade rests. Draw it. Let me see. I pull the knife. My hand shakes. Breathe, Isla. I do. My lungs obey him like they're hardwired to his voice. Good. His hand stays on my hip. The other covers mine on the knife hilt. Grip tighter, like you mean it. Like this is the only thing between you and dying. His fingers wrap around mine, adjusting pressure, angle. I feel the heat of him all down my back, the solid wall of muscle and control, the way his breath stirs the loose hair at my temple. This is professional. This is instruction. So why does it feel like foreplay? If someone grabs you from behind, he says, voice dropping even lower, you have 2 seconds to decide. Freeze or fight? Which do you choose? Fight. The word comes out hoarse. Show me. He doesn't let go, doesn't step back. He's testing me, waiting to see if I'll move with him still wrapped around me like a cage. I twist, hard. Use the momentum to break his grip and spin, bringing the knife up in an arc that stops an inch from his throat. We're nose to nose, both breathing hard. His eyes are molten, dark and burning and fixed on me like I'm the only thing in the room, the only thing in the world. Good, he says softly, but not good enough. He moves, fast, controlled, and suddenly I'm spun back around, his arm across my collarbone, the knife trapped uselessly against my own stomach. You telegraphed, he murmurs against my ear. I saw it coming 3 moves ahead. Again. He releases me, steps back. I turn to face him, chest heaving, adrenaline singing through my veins. Again, he says. We drill for an hour. Attack patterns, defense angles. How to hold the blade for maximum damage. How to read an opponent's weight shift. How to turn vulnerability into violence in half a breath. Every repetition brings us closer. Every correction puts his hands on me, my wrist, my shoulder, my waist, the small of my back. Each touch is clinical, professional. Each touch burns. By the time he calls a break, I'm sweating and shaking and hyper-aware of every inch of space between us. He hands me a water bottle. I drink without tasting. You're a quick study, he says. I'm motivated. I cap the bottle, meet his eyes. I don't want to be a victim again. You won't be. It's not a promise, it's a vow. Not while I'm breathing. The certainty in his voice makes something crack open in my chest. Why, I ask. The question I've been carrying since the rooftop. Why do you care this much? It's been 3 years. The case is cold. I'm nobody. You're not nobody, he steps closer, and I should back up, but I don't. You're the woman who survived something that should have killed you. You're the woman who's been carrying my blade's mark for 3 years without breaking. He stops. His jaw works. You're under my protection now. That's all you need to know. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. He reaches out, slow, so slow, and his knuckles brush my jaw. The touch is feather light, and it detonates through my system like a grenade. You should hate me. I know. You should run. I know that too. But you won't. His thumb traces the line of my cheekbone, and my eyes flutter closed without permission. Why? The truth tastes like copper and gasoline. Because when you're close, I can breathe, and I hate that. I hate you for it. Good. His voice is gravel and smoke. Hate me, but stay alive. I open my eyes. We're inches apart. I can see the gold flecks in his dark irises, the faint scar through his left eyebrow, the exact moment his gaze drops to my mouth. He's going to kiss me. I'm going to let him. His hand slides into my hair, tilts my head back, and he stops. Jaw clenched, eyes burning, restraint written in every rigid line of his body. Not yet, he says roughly. Not until you choose it without fear, without survival instinct. Not until you want me, and not just the safety I represent. He steps back. I'm wrecked. Completely wrecked by the kiss that didn't happen, by the control it took for him to stop, by the fact that he stopped when he could have taken and I would have let him. Tomorrow, he says. Same time. We're not done. I don't trust my voice. I just nod. He watches me walk to the stairs. I feel his eyes on me with every step. Feel the phantom weight of his hand in my hair. Feel the ache of wanting something I shouldn't want from a man I can't trust. When I reach the ground floor, I pull out my phone with shaking hands and text Maya. I think I'm in trouble. Her reply is instant. What kind? I stare at the screen. Type and delete. Type and delete. Finally, the kind where I don't want to be saved. The next 3 days follow the same pattern. Morning training at the warehouse. Cassian's hands correcting my grip, his voice in my ear, his body close enough that I memorize the sound of his breathing. Every session pushes me harder, faster draws, tighter movements, scenarios that make my heart race and my instincts sharpen. He teaches me how to read a room, how to spot threats in crowds, how to move through space like I own it instead of apologizing for existing. And every session ends the same way, with us too close, breath mingling, the air thick with want, and him pulling back first. The restraint is destroying me. Elena drives me everywhere. To styling shoots where I arrange expensive food for people who won't eat it. To the hotel where I smile at guests and pretend my world isn't tilting sideways. She's professional, silent, always watching. I catch her scanning rooftops, noting license plates, her hand resting near her hip where I'm certain she carries something more substantial than my serpent blade knife. Cassian doesn't show up at my work again, but I feel him everywhere, in the security I didn't ask for, in the car that's always waiting, in the way my body has started to anticipate his proximity like a drug I'm learning to need. On the 4th morning, I arrive at the warehouse to find him on a phone call. His back is to me, shoulders rigid, voice low and lethal. I don't care what it costs. Find him. I want every hole he's ever crawled into mapped and monitored. If Adrian Cole breathes in this city, I want to know it. Adrian Cole. The name hits me like cold water. I freeze on the stairs, hand gripping the railing. Cassian turns, sees me. His expression shudders immediately. I'll call you back. He ends the call and pockets the phone, but I'm already moving, crossing the space between us with adrenaline spiking through my veins. Adrian Cole, I say? That's who cut me. His jaw tightens. Yes. Who is he? Someone I trusted, he says. My lieutenant. Until 3 years ago when he decided my sister's life was an acceptable price for his ambition. Your sister, Mara. He says her name like a wound that won't close. She died in a warehouse raid. They said it was rival family violence. They lied. Adrian staged it. He wanted access to port routes I wouldn't give him. He thought if he eliminated her, I'd fall apart. He thought wrong. I stare at him. And he used your knife to cut me. He used my knife to send a message. Cassian's hands curl into fists at his sides. The night Mara died, someone leaked evidence to Whitmore and Associates, documents that proved Adrian's betrayal. He needed that evidence destroyed before it reached the right people, so he sent cleaners to the firm's event. They were looking for a flash drive. My stomach drops. The event I was working. Yes. And they thought I took it. Yes. Did I? My voice cracks. Did I take something that night without knowing? Cassian steps closer, and I see it now. The haunted look beneath the control, the fury barely leashed. I don't know, but Adrian thinks you did. And he's been watching, waiting. The text you received wasn't from me, Isla. It was from him. The ground shifts beneath me. What? He spoofed my number. He wanted you scared enough to run, or curious enough to surface. Either way, he'd know where to find you. Cassian's voice drops to something raw. But you came to me instead, and now he knows I'm protecting you. So he'll come for me. It's not a question. He'll come for both of us. His hand lifts, hovering near my face like he wants to touch but won't let himself. I'm sorry. I pulled you into a war you didn't start. You didn't pull me. The words taste like truth and ash. I was already in it. I just didn't know. We stand there, inches apart, the weight of 3 years pressing between us. What did the evidence prove? I asked quietly. The documents that started this. Cassian's expression goes carefully blank. That Adrian used Vale resources to fund rival families. That he orchestrated hits using my name. That he stops, swallows. That he killed Mara with my blade to frame me for her death. But you weren't charged. No. His voice is ice. Because I buried the evidence before it could surface. I protected the family name. I made deals with people I despise. I became the monster everyone already thought I was to keep the empire from collapsing. He looks at me, and the rawness in his eyes makes my chest ache. I concealed the truth about my sister's murder to maintain power. So tell me, Isla, am I any better than the man who killed her? The question hangs between us like a blade. I should be horrified. I should run. This is exactly what I feared. That the man who makes me feel safe is just another monster in expensive clothes. But all I hear is the crack in his voice when he said Elena's name. All I see is the way his hands shake when he thinks I'm not looking. All I feel is the truth beneath the confession. He's been carrying his sister's death like a stone in his chest for 3 years, just like I've been carrying my scar. Yes, I say finally, you're better, because you hate yourself for it. His eyes close. That doesn't make it right. No, but it makes you human. I reach up slowly, broadcast intention, the way he's taught me, and my palm settles against his jaw. He's warm, solid, shaking beneath my touch. You didn't kill her. He did. I failed to protect her. You were 19. I was responsible. You were a kid who got handed an empire and a knife. My thumb brushes his cheekbone, and his breath hitches. Stop punishing yourself for not being a god. He opens his eyes. The look in them makes my heart stutter, raw and hungry and desperate in a way I've never seen from him. Isla. My name is a prayer and a warning. Don't. I don't know what I'm asking for. Don't stop. Don't touch me. Don't make me want this. Just don't. He turns his head and presses his mouth to my palm. Not a kiss. Something heavier. A vow or a surrender, I can't tell which. We stay like that, breathing, breaking. Then his phone buzzes. He pulls back, checks the screen, and everything in his expression goes cold and lethal. What? I ask. Adrian just made contact. His voice is pure command now, the vulnerability locked away. He wants to meet, tonight, neutral ground. It's a trap. I know. He's already moving, pulling his own phone, typing rapid-fire instructions. But it's the opening I've been waiting for. If I can get him in a room, I can end this. And if you can't, he looks at me, then you run. Elena has instructions. She'll get you out of the city, out of the country if necessary. You disappear and you don't look back. No. The word comes out sharp. I'm not running. Isla. I said no. I cross to him, grab his arm, force him to look at me. You've spent 4 days teaching me how to fight, how to survive. You think I'm going to let you walk into a trap alone and just disappear like a good little victim? This isn't your fight. The hell it isn't. I'm shaking now, anger and fear and something fiercer burning through me. He marked me. He used me as bait. He's been stalking me for 3 years. This is exactly my fight. Cassian's hand comes up, fingers threading through my hair, tilting my head back so I have to meet his eyes. If something happens to you because of me, then I die making my own choices instead of living as someone's collateral damage. I grip his wrist, hold him there. Let me help you end this. For a long moment, he just looks at me, reading, calculating, deciding if I mean it or if I'm just high on adrenaline and proximity. Then, quietly, you'd fight beside me. Yes. Even knowing what I am, what I've done, especially knowing. I don't let myself look away. Because you're not the monster you think you are. And I'm done being the victim I thought I'd always be. Something shifts in his expression, wonder and heat and a ferocity that matches my own. Then we do this together, he says. But you follow my lead. You stay behind me. And if I tell you to run, you run. Understood? Understood. He leans down, forehead touching mine. And for one perfect moment, we just breathe the same air. After this is over, he murmurs, I'm going to kiss you. My heart trips. Promises, promises. Not a promise. His mouth is an inch from mine. A vow. The meet is set for midnight at a shuttered industrial complex near the docks. all rusted metal and broken windows. The kind of place where sound doesn't carry and bodies don't get found. Elena drives us in silence. Cassian sits beside me in the back, checking weapons with the methodical precision of someone who's done this 1,000 times. He's in all black, tactical pants, fitted shirt, a shoulder holster I can't unsee now that I know it's there. I'm dressed the same way. Dark clothes, boots, the serpent knife in a sheath at my hip because I've earned the right to carry it properly now. My hands don't shake. 3 exits, Cassian says without looking at me. Front where we're entering. Side door, northeast corner. Loading bay, back. If shooting starts, you go for the side door. Elena will be waiting. And you? I'll be finishing this. The car stops. Elena turns, meets my eyes in the rearview mirror. There's something in her expression. Respect, maybe, or recognition. Stay smart. Stay alive. I nod. Cassian and I get out. The air smells like rust and river water. The building looms, dark and skeletal against the night sky. He touches my elbow, brief, grounding, and we move. Inside, the space is cavernous. Moonlight cuts through broken windows, throwing shadows across concrete and old machinery. Our footsteps echo. I catalog exits, sight lines, anything that could be cover or weapon. Cassian Vale. The voice comes from the darkness ahead. Right on time, a figure steps into the light. Adrian Cole is smaller than I expected. Lean, wiry, with sharp features and cold eyes. He's wearing a suit like this is a business meeting, like he didn't destroy lives with the knife currently hanging in a display case somewhere in his sick personal collection. Adrian, Cassian's voice is flat, controlled. You wanted to talk. Talk. Oh, I don't want to talk. Adrian's smile is all edges. I want what she took from me. His eyes land on me, and my stomach clenches. I didn't take anything, I say. Liar. He tilts his head. You were in that conference room. You served drinks. You cleaned up after they left. And somewhere between the hors d'oeuvres and the trash run, you picked up a flash drive that doesn't belong to you. I didn't. Your bag was searched that night, Adrian continues, like I haven't spoken. After you were cut. After you collapsed. The paramedics went through your things. No drive. Which means you stashed it somewhere, or gave it to someone. Either way. He pulls a gun from his jacket. You're going to tell me where it is. Cassian moves, subtle shift, putting himself between me and the barrel. She doesn't have it. Then where is it? Safe. Cassian's voice is ice. Out of your reach, copied, documented. If anything happens to either of us, it goes to every federal prosecutor from here to DC. Adrian's expression flickers. Bluffing. Try me. The silence stretches. I can hear my pulse in my ears, feel the weight of the knife at my hip, feel Cassian's presence like a shield I didn't know I needed until now. Then Adrian laughs. You always were sentimental. That's why Mara died. She made you weak. And now this one, he gestures toward me with the gun, is going to do the same thing. Elena died because you're a coward who can't build power without tearing others down, Cassian says quietly. And the only thing this woman is going to do is watch you fall. Adrian's smile vanishes. Brave words for a man with a gun pointed at his chest. You won't shoot. Cassian takes a step forward. You need the drive. You need leverage. You need me alive long enough to make a deal. I don't need you. Adrian's finger moves to the trigger. I just need her scared enough to talk. He swings the gun toward me. Everything happens at once. Cassian moves, fast, impossibly fast, throwing himself sideways into Adrian's line of fire. The gun goes off. The sound is massive, echoing, wrong. Cassian staggers. No! The scream rips out of me before I can stop it. But Cassian doesn't go down. He surges forward, crashes into Adrian, and they go sprawling across concrete in a tangle of limbs and fury. I run, not away, toward. My hand finds the knife at my hip. I move on instinct. Everything Cassian taught me compressed into muscle memory. Adrian rolls on top, gets his hands around Cassian's throat. I see the opening. I take it. The blade sinks into Adrian's shoulder. He screams, rears back. Cassian uses the momentum to flip them, gets a forearm across Adrian's throat, and applies pressure. It's over, Cassian rasps. You're done. Adrian's eyes roll. His body goes slack. Cassian doesn't let go until he's sure, until there's no fight left. Then he shoves away, staggers upright, and collapses. Cassian! I'm on my knees beside him, hands searching. Where? Where did it hit? Vest, he grits out. Bruised. Not bleeding. I find the point of impact. Left side, lower ribs. The bullet stopped by Kevlar I didn't know he was wearing. His face is pale, slicked with sweat, but he's breathing. He's alive. You idiot, I choke out. You goddamn idiot, you could have... I told you. His hand finds mine, squeezes. I'd protect you, no matter what. Footsteps echo. Elena appears with two men I don't recognize, guns drawn. She takes in the scene, Adrian unconscious and bleeding, Cassian on the ground, me covered in someone else's blood, and nods once. Clean this up, she says to the men. Then, to us. Ambulance or hospital? Neither. Cassian forces himself upright with a grimace. Safe house. Get the trauma kit. Elena doesn't argue, just helps me get Cassian to his feet and out to the car. In the back seat, with city lights streaking past and my hands still shaking, Cassian turns to me. You stabbed him, he says. You got shot. I had a vest. I didn't know that, my voice cracks. I saw you fall and I thought, hey. He catches my face between his hands, and his palms are warm and steady and real. I'm okay. You're okay. We're both okay. You took a bullet for me. I'd take 1,000. He says it like it's obvious, like there was never any other choice. You think I'd let him touch you? I can't breathe. Can't think. Can't do anything except stare at this man who rules like a god and just bled like a human because I mattered more than his own safety. Cassian, I know. His thumb brushes my cheekbone, catching a tear I didn't know I shed. I know what you're going to say, that this proves I'm dangerous, that you should run, that wanting me is a mistake. His eyes search mine, dark and desperate. And you'd be right, but I'm asking you to stay anyway. The words I've been carrying for days claw up my throat. I wanted you to be the monster. It would have been easier. I know. But you're not. You're just... I grip his wrists, hold him there. You're just a man who's been carrying his sister's ghost and trying to build something better from the ashes. And the confession breaks. I don't know how to want you without being terrified of what it means. Then be terrified. His forehead touches mine. Be angry. Hate me if you need to, but stay. I close my eyes, feel his breath, feel the truth of him, flawed and haunted and so desperate to be better than the world told him he could be. Okay, I whisper, okay? I'll stay. I open my eyes, but I'm done being protected like I'm fragile. If we're doing this, if we're really doing this, you let me stand beside you, not behind you, beside. Something in his expression cracks open. Partners. Partners. He kisses me. Not the restrained, almost kiss from the warehouse. Not the careful touch of a man afraid of breaking something precious. This is heat and hunger and relief. His mouth claiming mine like he's been starving for it. Like I'm oxygen after drowning. I kiss him back, hard, desperate, pouring 3 years of fear and 4 days of want into the press of lips and teeth and tongue. When we break apart, we're both shaking. After I'm patched up, he murmurs against my mouth. I'm taking you somewhere safe, somewhere quiet, and I'm going to show you exactly how much I've been holding back. Heat floods through me. Promises, promises. Not a promise. He kisses me again, softer this time. A vow. The safe house is a penthouse in Tribeca. All clean lines and floor-to-ceiling windows that overlook the city like a kingdom laid out for inspection. Elena and her team sweep the space while a woman I don't know, a doctor by the look of her medkit, tends to Cassian's ribs in the master bedroom. I pace the living room, still wearing Adrian's blood on my clothes, still feeling the weight of the knife in my hand, still replaying the moment Cassian threw himself into the bullet's path. For me. Elena finds me staring out at the skyline. He'll be fine. Cracked rib, deep bruising. Nothing that won't heal? He shouldn't have. He always does. She cuts me off, not unkindly. That's who he is. He takes the hit. He carries the weight. He protects what's his. Her eyes meet mine. And you're his now, whether you wanted to be or not. I'm not property. No. A ghost of a smile crosses her face. But you're the first thing he's let himself want in 3 years. That makes you dangerous and precious in equal measure. She leaves before I can respond. I stand there, heart hammering, trying to process what just happened. Adrian is in custody, real custody this time. Federal agents Elena called in who don't answer to corrupt precincts. The flash drive, wherever it actually is, no longer matters because Adrian confessed on a recording device Cassian had running the entire time. The war is over, so why do I feel like I'm standing on the edge of something more terrifying than any fight? The doctor emerges. He's asking for you. Cassian is sitting on the edge of the bed, shirtless, a compression wrap around his ribs. His skin is a map of ink and old scars. Stories I don't know yet but want to. Bruising blooms dark across his left side, where the bullet hit. He looks up when I enter. His eyes track over me, cataloging, making sure I'm whole. You're still wearing his blood, he says quietly. I look down, my hands, my shirt, spattered and drying. I didn't notice. Bathroom's through there, he gestures. Take your time, but I don't move. Can't. Because now that the adrenaline is fading, now that we're alone in a room with a bed and silence and the weight of everything we've survived pressing between us, I don't know how to do this. Isla. My name in his voice, low and certain. Breathe. I do. Once. Twice. You almost died, I say. But I didn't. You threw yourself in front of a gun. I'd do it again. He says it simply, like it's arithmetic. Every time. That's not, my voice cracks. You can't just, I can, I did, and I will. He stands, moves toward me despite the obvious pain in his ribs. Because the thought of him touching you, hurting you, it's not an option I can survive. That's not partnership. The words come out sharper than I intend. That's you deciding my life is worth less than yours. He stops. No. It's me deciding I can live in a world without power, without empire, without any of this. He gestures at the penthouse, the city beyond. But I can't live in a world where I had the chance to save you and didn't take it. The confession lands like a fist to my sternum. Cassian, I know what you're going to say. He's close now, close enough that I can see the gold flecks in his eyes, the exhaustion pulling at his features, that I'm being possessive, that I'm trying to control you, that this isn't healthy. His hand lifts, hovers near my face. And maybe you're right. Maybe I'm too damaged to do this the right way, but I need you to understand you are not a responsibility to me. You're not a mission, you're… He stops, jaw working. I'm what? I whisper. Everything. The word breaks out of him, raw, true. You're everything I didn't know I needed until I saw that photo and recognized my past carved into your skin. And then you walked into my world and refused to break, refused to run, refused to be anything less than the fighter you were born to be. His hand finally touches, knuckles brushing my jaw with devastating gentleness. So if you want to walk away now, I'll let you. I'll make sure you're safe. Make sure you have everything you need. And I'll stay the hell away from you. But if you stay, if you choose this, I need you to know what you're choosing. What am I choosing? A man who will always step between you and the bullet. Who will always want to fight your battles. Who will struggle every single day to let you stand beside him instead of behind him. His thumb traces my cheekbone, and heat blooms everywhere he touches. But who will try? God help me, Isla. I will try to be the partner you deserve, instead of the monster who just wants to lock you away where nothing can ever hurt you again. My breath catches. You're not a monster. I'm not a saint either. Good, I step into him. Close the last inch of space between us. My palms settle on his chest, careful of his ribs, feeling his heart hammer beneath my touch. I don't want a saint. I want you, the real you, flawed and haunted and so desperate to protect the people you love that you'd take a bullet without thinking twice. I look up at him, hold his gaze. I want the man who taught me how to hold a knife, who saw my scar and didn't see weakness, who gave me back my power instead of trying to own it. His eyes close. Isla. I'm choosing you, I say, but I'm choosing me too. I'm choosing the version of us where I get to protect you back, where I get to fight beside you, where you trust me enough to let me make my own dangerous choices. My hands slide up to his jaw, bringing his focus back to me. Can you do that? He opens his eyes, and what I see there makes my pulse spike. Hunger and heat and something deeper. Something that looks like reverence, wrapped in desperation. I'll spend the rest of my life learning how, he says roughly. Then we have a deal. I pull him down and kiss him. This time, there's no hesitation, no restraint. His mouth claims mine like he's been starving for it. Like 4 days of almost touches and pulled back kisses finally shattered whatever control he'd been wielding. His hand threads into my hair, angles my head exactly where he wants it. And the dominance in the gesture makes heat pool low in my belly. I kiss him back harder, demanding, matching him beat for beat. His other hand finds my hip, right over the scar, right where his blade marked me, and the symmetry of it, the claiming, makes me gasp into his mouth. He breaks the kiss. Shower, now. Your ribs? Will survive. His voice is pure gravel. I'm not touching you for the first time while you're covered in someone else's blood. He's right. I hate that he's right. 5 minutes, I say. I'll be counting. I strip in the bathroom, let the water run hot, and try to process the fact that this is happening, that I'm staying, that I chose the man who terrifies and steadies me in equal measure. The water turns rust red as Adrian's blood swirls down the drain. I scrub until my skin is pink, until there's no trace of the fight left on me. When I step out, there's a towel and a black t-shirt laid out on the counter, Cassian's, by the size of it. I pull it on. It falls to mid-thigh. I don't bother with anything else. When I open the bathroom door, he's sitting on the edge of the bed again, elbows on his knees, head bowed. He looks up when he hears me, and the way his eyes darken as they trace over me, bare legs, damp hair, his shirt claiming my skin, makes my breath catch. Come here, he says. I cross to him. He spreads his knees, and I step between them without thinking. His hands settle on my hips, thumbs brushing the bare skin just below the shirt's hem. Tell me what you want, he says quietly, looking up at me. Not what you think I want to hear, not what makes this easier. Tell me the truth. The truth. The truth is, I'm terrified and exhilarated and so tired of being afraid of wanting things. I want you to touch me, I say. I want to stop cataloging every degree of space between us and just feel. I want to know what it's like when you stop holding back. My hands settle on his shoulders, feel the tension coiled beneath skin and ink. And I want to touch you back, to learn the map of you, to prove to myself that you're real and not just some fever dream I conjured from fear and adrenaline. His grip tightens on my hips. If we start this, I don't know if I can stop. Then don't stop. I lean down, lips brushing his ear. I'm not asking you to. He makes a sound low in his chest, hunger and restraint breaking in equal measure. And then his mouth is on mine again. Harder this time, more demanding. His hands slide up under the shirt, palms hot against my ribs, my waist, mapping the territory of my body like he's memorizing it for combat. I gasp into his mouth when his thumb brushes the underside of my breast. He pulls back just enough to look at me. Too much? Not enough. I'm shaking. Never enough. He stands in one fluid motion, lifting me with him, and I wrap my legs around his hips instinctively. He turns, sets me on the bed with a gentleness that contradicts the hunger in his eyes. And then he's over me, hands framing my face, body a solid line of heat and muscle above me. The scar, he says. I need to see it. My stomach clenches. Why? Because it's part of you. Because my past marked you. Because I need to look at it and know that you survived, and that you're here, and that you're mine. His hand slides to the hem of the shirt. Can I? I nod. He pushes the fabric up slowly, revealing my stomach, my ribs, and finally, there. 3 inches of raised white tissue on my left hip, puckered and permanent. The proof of the night I bled. Cassian stares at it. Then he leans down and presses his mouth to the scar. The kiss is soft, reverent, devastating. I'm sorry, he murmurs against my skin. I'm sorry my world touched you. I'm sorry you carry this. I'm sorry. Stop. My hands find his hair, thread through the dark strands. It's not your fault, and I'm not sorry anymore. I tug until he looks up at me. That scar brought me to you. It taught me how to fight. It made me strong enough to stand beside you tonight, so no more apologies. His eyes search mine. Then he kisses the scar again and again. A trail of heat up my ribs, across my stomach, along the underside of my breast. Every touch is worship and possession tangled together. By the time his mouth finds mine again, I'm shaking with want. Cassian, I breathe. Tell me. His hand slides down my side, over my hip, along my thigh. Tell me what you need. You. The word is simple, true, just you. He groans like I've undone him, and then his body covers mine, careful of his ribs, mindful of his weight, and the solid heat of him pressed against me makes my mind go blank. There's nothing but this, his mouth on mine, his hands learning the curves of me, the way our breathing sinks like we've been doing this for years instead of minutes. I map him back, the breadth of his shoulders, the ink that winds across his arms, the hard planes of muscle that shift under my touch. When my fingers trace the edge of his compression wrap, he catches my wrist. Careful. I'm always careful. I meet his eyes. Except right now. Right now, I want to wreck you the way you've been wrecking me for 4 days. His control visibly fractures. Isla. I arch up and kiss him, pour everything I've been holding back into it. The fear, the want, the desperate need to prove I'm alive and choosing this and not afraid anymore. He answers in kind. His hand slides higher, fingers tracing patterns on my inner thigh that make me gasp. The heat between us builds to something incendiary. Every touch sparking nerve endings I didn't know existed. Every kiss stoking the fire higher. I can't finish the sentence. Can't think past the need flooding my system. I know. His mouth trails down my neck, teeth grazing my collarbone. I know exactly what you want, and I'm going to give it to you. But not tonight. I freeze. What? He lifts his head and his eyes are molten. Tonight you're running on adrenaline and relief and the aftermath of violence. Tonight your body doesn't know the difference between danger and desire. His thumb brushes my lower lip. When I take you, when we cross that line, I want you clear-headed. I want you certain. I want there to be no doubt in your mind that you're choosing me because you want me, not because I make you feel safe after being afraid. Frustration and respect war in my chest. That's the only way I can live with myself, he finishes. I've taken enough from you. I won't take this unless you give it freely. I stare at him. This man who commands like a god is denying himself, denying us both, because he wants me to be sure. The restraint shouldn't make me want him more. It does. Okay, I whisper, okay? You're right, I hate it, but you're right. I pull him down until his forehead touches mine. But this doesn't mean I'm not going to make you suffer for the wait. He laughs, rough and surprised. I'd expect nothing less. We stay like that, tangled together, breathing the same air. Eventually, exhaustion wins. He shifts us carefully, pulling me against his uninjured side, the t-shirt settling back down over my hips. I press my ear to his chest and listen to his heartbeat. Steady, strong, alive. Stay, he murmurs into my hair. I'm not going anywhere. Good. His arm tightens around me, because I'm not letting you go. I should bristle at the possessiveness, should push back. Instead, I curve closer and let myself believe that sometimes being held isn't the same as being caged. I wake to sunlight and the smell of coffee. Cassian is standing by the window, shirtless except for the compression wrap, talking quietly on the phone. When he sees me stirring, he ends the call and crosses to the bed. Morning, I stretch, feel the pleasant ache of muscles used differently than usual. What time is it? 10. You needed the sleep. He hands me a mug. Drink, then we talk. The coffee is perfect, dark, strong, exactly how I take it without him ever asking. Adrian, I ask? Federal custody, singing like a canary about every corrupt deal he ever made. The DA's building a case that'll put him away for the rest of his natural life. Cassian sits on the edge of the bed. It's over, Isla. You're safe. The words should bring relief. They do. But they also bring the terrifying question of what now? The flash drive, I say. Was there really one? Yes. You put it in the pocket of a coat someone left on a chair that night. Muscle memory from cleaning up after people. A woman picked it up on her way out. She didn't know what she had. He touches my knee through the blanket. I tracked it down 2 days after you sent me that photo. I've had it the entire time. So all of this was me on a hook, I say. The words taste like rust. I ring-fenced you with more security than a head of state. That's not the point. I let the anger have its shape. Partnership means no more ambushes where I find out last. If there's a risk with my name on it, I choose it with you, or I don't choose you at all. He absorbs it like a sentence he deserves. Understood, he says. No more unilateral calls about your life. Was me using you as bait to draw Adrian out while I built a case? His jaw tightens. I'm not proud of it. But I couldn't move against him without proof he was still hunting you. And I couldn't prove that without letting him think you were vulnerable. I should be angry, should feel used. You kept me safe the whole time, I say instead. Yes. And you taught me how to protect myself. Yes. And when it came down to it, you took the bullet. His hand covers mine. I'd take 1,000. I look at him, this man who rules an empire and just used me as bait, but never once let me actually be bait. Who taught me to fight and then fought beside me. Who gave me power instead of taking it. What happens now, I ask. That depends. His thumb traces circles on my wrist. What do you want to happen? The question is enormous, terrifying, full of possibility. I want to keep my jobs, I say slowly. Keep my apartment, keep my life. Done. I want you to dismantle whatever parts of your empire are built on blood and corruption. Already in progress. The ports are going legitimate. The security consultation is staying. Everything else? He shrugs. I'm walking away. I stare at him. Just like that. Just like that. He meets my eyes. I told you, I can live without power. I can't live without you. My heart trips. Cassian, I'm not asking you to move in. I'm not asking you to marry me or pledge your life or any of that. His voice softens. I'm just asking for time, to take you to dinner, to learn what makes you laugh. To prove that I can be the man you deserve instead of the monster you survived. You were never the monster, I say. You were just lost, like me. And now? Now we're found. I lean forward, cup his jaw, feel the rough stubble under my palm. Together, he kisses me, soft, sweet, full of promise. When we break apart, he's smiling, really smiling, and it transforms his face from stone to something human and beautiful. Dinner tonight, he asks, only if it's not at a place where you own the staff. I'll find somewhere appropriately democratic. And you'll let Elena have the night off. I'll consider it. And you'll tell me the story behind every single tattoo. That'll take more than one dinner. Good, I kiss him again. I'm counting on it. 3 months later, I'm arranging dahlias for a magazine shoot when my phone buzzes. Cassian, rooftop, tonight. 8 p.m., me. Is this a command or a request? Cassian, with you? Always a request. Me, better, I'll be there. I finish the shoot, take the train home instead of letting Elena drive me because I'm reclaiming that independence piece by piece, and change into a dress that makes me feel powerful instead of pretty. The rooftop of the Vale Hotel looks different than it did that first night. Warmer, less like a throne room and more like a garden. String lights, late summer flowers and planters. A table set for 2. Cassian is waiting, wearing dark slacks and a white shirt with the sleeves rolled up. The ink on his forearms catches the light. When he sees me, something in his expression goes soft. You came. I always do. I cross to him, rise on my toes, kiss him hello. It's become routine, this easy intimacy, this partnership we've built from blade-marked beginnings. He pulls out my chair. We eat, we talk. We laugh at something stupid I say about a Bridezilla client. And then, as the city lights up below us, he reaches across the table and takes my hand. I have something for you. If it's another knife, I'm leaving. He smiles. Not a knife. He pulls a small box from his pocket. Not velvet this time, simple black leather. Inside is a key. 2, I ask? The building 3 blocks from here. The one you said you liked with the rooftop garden and the big windows. He watches my face. I bought it. 6 units. I'm keeping the penthouse. The rest are yours, to do whatever you want with. Sell them, rent them, turn them into artist studios. Your choice. I stare at the key. Cassian, I can't. You can. And before you argue, it's not a cage. It's not me trying to control you. It's me giving you options. His hand squeezes mine. You said you wanted to keep your independence, your life. This is me making sure you have the foundation to build anything you want, with or without me. Tears burn behind my eyes. That's too much? Probably. But I'm still learning how to do this without drowning you in resources. He smiles ruefully. Tell me if I got it wrong. You didn't. I stand, move around the table, and settle into his lap. His arms come around me immediately, secure, warm, home. You got it exactly right. Yeah? Yeah. I kiss him, long, deep, pouring 3 months of earned trust into it. When I pull back, we're both breathing hard. Take me home. Which home? His voice is rough. Yours or mine? Ours, I say. Let's go to ours. He stands with me still wrapped around him, and I laugh, bright and free and unafraid, as he carries me toward the elevator. Later, in the penthouse with the city spread beneath us like a promise, he finally makes good on every restrained touch, every almost kiss, every moment of held-back hunger. He lays me down on sheets that smell like cedar and us. He strips away the dress with hands that shake just enough to remind me he's human. He traces the scar on my hip with his mouth and whispers, apologies I don't need and promises I believe. And when he finally moves over me, into me, when we find the rhythm that's been building since the night I sent a photo to the wrong number, it's not possession, it's partnership. It's two people who survive their own hells, choosing to build heaven together. Afterward, sweat slicked and tangled together, his hand finds mine, palm to palm, fingers threaded. I love you, he says. Simple, true. I know. I bring his hand to my mouth, kiss his knuckles. I love you too. Even knowing what I am, especially knowing what you are. I look at him, this man who taught me to hold a blade by its hilt, who gave me back my power, who chose to be better because I demanded it. You're mine, and I'm yours. And that's not ownership, that's choice. He kisses me, soft, reverent. Stay, he murmurs. Forever, I answer. And I mean it. 6 months after the night I accidentally texted a Mafia boss, I stand in front of a mirror adjusting a necklace, delicate gold with a small serpent pendant. A gift from Cassian, a reclamation of the symbol that once meant trauma and now means survival. Behind me in the reflection, he appears in a tuxedo, all sharp lines and controlled power. Ready? He asks. Almost. I turn, fix his bow tie, even though it's perfect. Nervous? Terrified. He catches my hands. I'm about to stand in front of 200 people and announce I'm walking away from the family business. You're not walking away. I kiss him quick. You're walking towards something better. With you. With me. We leave the penthouse together. Partners. Equals. Two people who learn that sometimes the wrong number leads to exactly the right person. In the car, Cassian pulls out his phone and shows me a photo, the one I sent that started everything. My scar. The raised white line that used to be my shame. I still have it, he says quietly. Good. I take the phone, delete the image, and hand it back. Now you have the real thing. Not the wound, the woman who survived it. He looks at me like I've just rewritten his entire understanding of the world. Then he kisses me like I'm oxygen, and he's been drowning. I will not break for you, I whisper against his mouth. I know, he smiles. That's why I love you. The car pulls up to the gala. We step out together into camera flashes and whispers. Let them look, let them wonder, let them see what a partnership built on trust instead of control looks like. I was a mark carved by a borrowed knife. I learned to grip the blade by its hilt. I will not break for him. I don't have to, because now, at last, he knows how to hold me without breaking me at all. And I know how to hold him back.